Yesterday, Bandai Namco released the first gameplay trailer for Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. It looks absolutely outstanding. In this video, I want to talk a bit about that trailer, some of the things they showed in that trailer, as well as my impressions about it, just talk about Armored Core 6 a little bit. We haven't done an Armored Core 6 video on this channel yet, but I want to talk about it here. So first, let me just say I'm a huge mech game fan. I started playing mech games back with MechWarrior back in the day, like the MechWarrior game on PC. It came with a joystick that you could rotate the cockpit and fire. That was amazing. And I love the MechWarrior series. I haven't played Armored Core before. Somehow this game has slipped under the radar for me. However, I did play Chromehounds on the Xbox back in the day, and I absolutely love that game. I didn't find out, or at least it didn't occur to me till many years later, that FromSoftware had made that game. If you remember that game, that was a mech game where you would play like PvP, you would build your mech and you would go and fight each other. One thing that caught my attention from this trailer, it's probably a small thing that probably doesn't matter to anyone else, but they refer to the mechs in this game as hounds, and then Chromehounds, is also the same language you use to describe the mech. So I really appreciated that. It was like a little goosebump for me. I don't know why. Obviously Armored Core 6 and the Armored Core series in general is a much faster paced game than MechWarrior or Chromehounds. Chromehounds is a much slower paced game. This is more actiony, more arcadey. Kind of gives you that throwback to the arcade vibe, but with modern graphics. If you've ever been to an arcade, circa 2000, 1995, something like that, you might see a game like this in there. If there were modern arcades, which there are in Japan, this is like a game you would see in a Japanese arcade. And they're just fun to play, you know what I mean? Like, they're games that are just over the top with their animations and explosions and sound effects. And they kind of give you that, like, Gundam on steroids vibe. And that's kind of what you get when you're watching the trailer from this game. Also, you just take a look at some of the bosses in the trailer. They're absolutely outstanding looking. I imagine they're going to be intense. The music's pounding. It's going to be this just like intense boss fight situation, which obviously is FromSoftware's strength. So I expect the boss fights in this game to be memorable in a different way than they are in the Soulsborne series games. But I think people will probably really, really love the boss fights. And just looking at the trailer, they look insane. So I imagine that's going to be fantastic too. One thing we didn't get to see in the trailer, though, is the customization options for your mech. A big part of mech games in general, and obviously the Armored Core series, is modifying your mech. Like what sort of legs do you have, what sort of arms do you have, what sort of weapon set do you have, managing your equipment load and your heat and all this stuff. So we didn't get to see any of that. There's no HUD shown here. I imagine it'd be somewhat similar to Armored Core 5, looking at the gameplay there. But there is a big kind of, I guess you would call it, sub-game in mech games, which is the building part of your mech. I think that's what I really, really loved about Chromehounds, was the fact that I spent so much time tinkering with my mech. It almost reminded me of Midnight Suns in the way that you would sit there and tinker with your skill deck for a hero and then go play it in combat and then come back and tinker with it again. It's the same way in that game. I think players are going to spend a lot of time tinkering with their mechs in Armored Core. So if you like that, freedom to customize exactly how your unit plays, I think that's something you can look forward to in Armored Core 6. I think one of the things that I absolutely love about Armored Core 6 and other games they've made, like Chromehounds and of course the Armored Core series and other games they have made, is that it shows that FromSoftware has a range of games they can play and they're not just a one-trick pony. Bloodborne for me was a defining moment because it was clear to me that FromSoftware could take an idea of something that worked really well and change it drastically enough that it felt like a completely new game, but it didn't feel completely foreign. And here you have another series in Armored Core that's completely different than the Souls series, and I think it gives them this identity of a larger developer than what they're known for. FromSoftware is obviously known for their Souls games, but I feel like maybe in the next few years they might finally be known for be up there with the big boys, be up there with the Bethesdas and the BioWares and the big name studios that don't just make one game that they're known for, but make a variety of different games. And I think Fires of Rubicon has an opportunity to really, kind of cement that for them if it's as good as it looks. Moving to the information on this game, we don't have a lot of information about it currently. We do know it comes out August of this year, on August 25th, which is about 4 months away. That's not super far. It comes out on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC via Steam. Comes up on the last gen and comes out on this gen as well. So it'll be out on PS4 and Xbox One, as well as PS5 and Xbox and Series X. One has to wonder what that means in terms of the graphical quality of the game. If what we're seeing is on PC, probably is. How the previous gen versions will be able to run this game and how next gen versions will look graphically if they have to make some sort of compromise. I don't know exactly how games are developed on those platforms, but generally speaking, games that have to run on both platforms, the older version of consoles and newer version typically look worse than games that are just developed for newer. So we'll have to see how that goes. I've been in communication with Bandai Namco about this game, so I'm hoping that you'll see more of this content on the channel soon. I don't know if they're going to have a preview event or anything like that in the near future. I'm hoping that they will, and we'll get to see the game, maybe play the game a little bit, give you guys some more impressions. But you guys can look forward to more Armored Core content on this channel. We'll probably have some guides as well at the launch of the game. I don't know if we're going to do a wiki or not yet. I haven't completely decided. But let me know what you guys think of Armored Core 6 so far. Are there other people out there like me that are huge FromSoftware fans but really haven't played much Armored Core? What about you Armored Core fans out there? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below.